Ladies, what's up, my
Yeah.
sisters? Welcome to the Real Shit No Joke Show. Coming to y'all live, powered by Sadior Radio.
Pew,
We
pew, pew,
got my host,
pew.
Bikini Body, and Nicole Spain. And we got some fantastic guests on this show tonight. We got Miss Nicole Phoenix soaring up, and we got Miss Erin Moreland with her feet on the ground telling us what's going on. Talk to me, ladies. What's up?
Not much. I just got home. Just hopping on with you. What's going on with you?
Well, we normally do a check-in, and we say what's going on. We go around. We try to give a number from 1 to 10. Sometimes it falls to a 0. Sometimes it's up to 1,000.
Okay.
So we do a 1 to 10 and say how we feeling and what's going on with our lives. So, Erin, since you just came in, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
So 1 to 10 on how I'm feeling. I would give myself about a 6. Thinking about a 6. My day's been decent. Working as a nurse now, like I wasn't working when I first started doing comedy, so now I'm working. I literally just walked in the door before we started talking, so this is weird. It's a different world in like the last couple. But yeah, I think I'm at about a 6 today.
All right.
Little good, little bad.
Listen, an honest answer is all we need, because we need everybody to be honest in our mental health check, and that's the reason why we do it, to make sure that, everybody is being upfront. Sometimes we do need a shoulder. Sometimes we do need a check-in. Sometimes we do keep things to ourselves. So that's the reason why we do the mental health check-in. Sometimes we be at a 1, like Jay said, sometimes we fall off the board.
Right.
It is what it is, so.
Nicole Phoenix, talk to us, baby. Where you at?
Hey, you know what? I was at like a 3, to be honest, but I was so excited about seeing all 3 of you because y'all all just got like the best warm, like peach cobbler, like spirit. You know what I mean? Just
Peach cobbler, like,
I know, I like peach
that's what I'm
cobbler.
saying.
Okay, like,
I like the cobbler.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, so sweet, just amazing. So I'm happy to see y'all. So y'all brought it from like a 3 to a 6.5. No, I'm serious.
I like it up. I like it up. I like it up.
Y'all brought it up for sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Am I going next, or Nicole, you going, or Bikini, you going? What we doing?
What we trying to do right here is go back. Way back.
Oh.
Back on the line.
Oh.
We were feeling good at the end of the week. But as of yesterday, we're kind of in and out. So we're like, we're like a teeter-totter between like a 3 and a 5. Like a teeter-totter. Like, depending on what situation is going on, you can get it back up. But yeah, like a 3 to 5 more. Even the weather's like, yeah. I feel like the weather. Yeah, like a 3 to 5 Eeyore. But it's okay. Because Eeyore and Medea are going to get it together. Oh, that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to spread some sunshine. So that is, it's all right. What about you, Jay? What is your mental health check-in?
Oh, man, I am on, can I just rock out with an 11? I'm going to just rock out with an 11. I'm going to do a double
there it
one.
is.
How about a
There
double
it
one?
is.
I'm going to rock
There
that
it
out.
is.
Yo, shucks, all is well, praise. All is well. Kids is good. Kids is in Atlanta. I got to go pick them up from the airport this evening. So safe travels. They had a fantastic trip.
Yeah.
I did get some new wheels, so I'm able to get around. I be telling people about Philly events. My ass be sitting at home waiting for somebody to do some comments. Now I can be back out in the streets hitting this thing and sharing the good news, because that's what it's all about. That's honestly what it's all about. This is the Real Shit No Joke show, and it's about hope and harmony and happiness all through humor, because there is so much going on in this world. And I keep trying to tell people, I don't want you to forget about it and laugh about other things. I want you to learn to laugh through these things that's happening. And that's the purpose of all of us coming together and, sharing a little bit of love in some of us. So I'm at that 11, and we got my wonderful guests, and both these sisters, Erin and Nicole Phoenix, we done hung out, I mean, for months, day in, day out. So these aren't just some people I just asked or we just have on the show. This is real love. I know what they look like when they get up, and they know what I look like going to bed. This is real stuff.
Okay.
Is it right here?
I appreciate it. So, Nicole, where you at?
Where you at on your mental health scale, mama?
I'm like a 6. I'm like a 5-6. I'm tired as hell. Working 2 jobs. America getting on my nerves. America is wilding out. I don't know if America really care for black women at this point. I'm tired. I'm blessed, but I'm tired. I'm a little frustrated with this country. That's about it. I'm chilling. That's my 5, 6.
With you saying that, that's a lot of what we're going to talk about today. Girls talk, girls chat. It's about the women, and we have so many names that we can speak of, and there are 2 different ends of the spectrum and the way that they're respected and looked at. So you have Breonna Taylor, and I know today that they actually did convict the officer that was already fired. However, they didn't convict him for him murdering or killing her. They convicted him for shooting in another property, so somebody else's property. He shot, and so the hazard or the danger that he caused to someone else. So a lot of people are in the uproar. I know here in Philadelphia, we have some protests that's going on starting at City Hall. And then we have the RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes.
And she has done so much for women.
Yes.
And with the loss of her, you know, we're looking at things, we know the president's trying to get somebody else and another judge in. Look like that's going to be somebody that's going to be extremely to the left side. So, you know, what is our value? What is our worth, women? And that's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted us to talk about. What is our worth? Individually and then as a whole. You know, a lot of 6s came out. Y'all all said 6s. And there's a reason for that 6. So what's our worth? How do we feel about this?
Who's gonna go first?
It's a lot to digest.
I feel like I go ahead if you guys want to go, but I could just say I think it's bullshit that, you know, the ladies' wall got more justice than Breonna Taylor. You know, that's insane. It's insane that we live in a world where the people who are supposed to be protecting us are just allowed to come into your house and murder you. And it's true that, like, you know, I think that for whatever reason in the police training programs or whatever they do, for some reason they're not taught to treat people of color the same, and it's obvious in every move they make.
Right.
I just there needs to be a change.
It does.
Now, Aaron, allow me to ask you a question.
Sure.
So right now, you are the only pure Caucasian person that we have on the show.
Yeah.
And you're a woman. So when you say, you know, you think it's kind of effed up, it's messed up, you're seeing that through the eyes of a woman, or are you seeing that through the eyes of some of the sisters? Like, we're all your sisters, and I believe you love us. So are you beginning to see things through our eyes, and you have sympathy, you know, or is it empathy? Like, what is your feeling for what you said? Why do you feel that way being a white woman? And so many things that we have to go through, you don't have to go through. Where does that compassion come from?
I mean, I have so many friends that are with her, and I don't like, we talk, and I was going to get into this when you talked about, like, what does it mean to be a woman, but I also think the same thing, like, when it comes to let me get, I'll get back to it. I empathize with you because you're right. I haven't ever been, you know, worried that a police officer was going to come into my home and shoot me, and I, you know, that's not a fear that I've ever had in my life, but I can't imagine that being a real fear for somebody. And I can't imagine that we live in a culture that is okay with that. I don't know. It's like, I wish I could put myself in the shoes till I could completely empathize. I mean, unfortunately, my experience has been different than, you know, everybody else's. So, but I think that we're all people at the end of the day. I think we need to stop talking about this stuff in terms of race and talk about the fact that cops are killing people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are, you know what I mean? Like, not to lessen, like, how to message across without, like, making it seem divisive. You know what I mean?
I can help, Aaron.
Right.
I can help.
Yeah.
because I was actually thinking the same thing, right? Like everyone should be extremely alarmed and terrified that this could happen in America, right? But there's one particular reason why so many people in America know this will never happen to them, right? And it is because they are white. So it's not that this isn't an American issue, right? It's not that this shouldn't be happening to anyone. It's that there's too many people who know that this is never going to be an issue for them personally. So what is, or with a president like we do have, we're seeing that actually white people might actually start being treated the same way black people are treated by the police. That's not to make a joke out of it, but we keep seeing
but to
it
be
at protests.
real.
It's the first time I've ever seen, like, at protests. I'm like, they are like scooping up white people and beating them up too. This is crazy. Like, I was really truly like surprised by all of it. Like, it's just the police don't care, and that's because Trump is like, either you're with me or you're against me, and color really does not matter in that way, which is really scary.
Right.
Yeah.
So standing up for black people might be more dangerous than just sitting at home and saying, I think this is messed up. Like, with a president like Trump, if he's in office again, he could keep pushing this much further.
Right.
You know?
And it's gonna make progressive white people feel like their hands are tied. They, you know,
or really be pressured to speak out.
Yeah, when all this shit started going on, particularly in May and June, when it got real heated, we was like, where the white people at? What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna say? And now they out there, like, you know, we was getting on their ass and putting the heat on them. There's some white people really out there, you know, on the front lines. And now they're like, well, damn, I gotta stay back home and be, you know, I gotta go back to the house. So it's like, they stepping up and being progressive, but now they getting their ass whooped and getting killed.
You see how dangerous it is for everybody to stand up for this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, honestly, I mean, like, I support the protesters, and like, even like part of me wants them to burn everything down. Like, I hate to say that. Obviously, it's not like we really want to watch the world burn. For real, like, this whole entire system needs to be toppled over and rebuilt. And I have no faith in any part of our system at all. Like, and that's how I feel. So kind of like both sides are fucked up, you know, politically. And I think that we're just not given any, I don't know. You know, you guys know as well as me of what's going on. I don't think we have any good choices. I think the best thing that we can do as a people is, you know, try and stay connected with each other, because it's so easy to be to get divided by like the propaganda.
Right.
Now I was going to ask you, Aaron, do you have any family and or friends that don't support or understand this cause?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
and
I
does
want
that
to
put
say,
you
like,
in a hard place?
Yeah, it definitely does. Like, my mom, like, she's super Christian. You know, she's, I don't want to say she's not like she does things that are racist, and I call her out on it constantly. But it's not from a place of hate. It's from a place of, well, cops kill white people too. She doesn't understand what Black Lives Matter means. So it's a very, like, I try to explain to her over and over. It's not that all lives don't matter. It's that cops don't view Black people as humans like they view us. Like, that's the point. And so, like, I really just do my best to try and educate my family members that make comments like that, because it's ridiculous. And I think, like, the most you can do is kind of start at home. I mean, I have little kids. I don't differentiate to them, like, this person's this color or that, you know what I mean? Like, if they want to know about it, you know, about a person's heritage or their culture, like, you know, I'm not going to make them think that one thing is bad and one thing is good. I think that's the way that maybe my great grandparents were raised, to believe that, like, anybody outside of their culture was bad and scary. It's like,
so do you feel as though your parents may demonstrate, I'm not going to even say teach, do you feel as though your parents may demonstrate an action different than what you would do in front of your kids or say?
No, not really demonstrate as, like, far as actions. I would just say like my parents get caught up in the minutia of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like they're looking at things on like the level of a conservative Republican. You know what I mean? Where they believe, you know, they're Christian, they're pro-life, they're, you know, they have, you know, I think
very
they have
conservative views.
Right.
But you know,
exactly.
But you know, it's a lot of Black people like that too. Very
Mm-hmm.
Christian.
Oh, I know.
You know, pro-life. You know, pro-life.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like your parents not only being older whites, but they also just old school. It's that you know what I mean. It's their age. Yeah. How old are your parents, if I can ask?
In their 60s.
Yeah.
67. Yeah, 66 and 67.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's definitely that age group. I think that like they're slowly getting with the time, but I also think that it's like it's a progression. You know what I mean? Like people have to.
Yeah.
But that's also insane to me that like I feel like we all learned in kindergarten that everybody was the same. How come these adults don't get it? And then I forget that I'm an adult. Like I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to just also put it into perspective in terms of generations. Like, if my parents were in their 60s as well, so they were definitely around for the last time this shit was happening. So it's not as if this is brand new and they have no, like, the whole thing with older generations is they ask, where were you when Kennedy was shot? You know, where were you when Martin Luther King Jr. was shot? Like, you saw people march on Washington. You saw them put hoses and dogs on people. That was your childhood. So that's why I have to push back on that sometimes. And that's Black people and white people. Like, this, we did this already. And just because you're older and retired and you're good and you feel like it's just doing too much, you know, to riot or loot, like, this is people's lives and their futures. Exactly. You already settled. You good.
Right.
Exactly.
So like Nicole said, there's plenty of Black people who are just like, why they gotta tear everything up and this is not the way you change things. And I'm just like, y'all are also okay, you know, for the most part. People who say that generally don't understand why you would do something like that.
Right, right. And that's been part of the argument that's been going on since the beginning of the looting. And there were quite a few people that thoroughly explained it, that thoroughly made sure that people understood it from both sides. It's not just the fact of, you know, of there being businesses destroyed. There's a bigger message. The bigger message is nothing's going to go forward if we don't see the shit burning.
Yeah.
We have to make some shit burn for you to see. It's like, you don't look at the hand that's in front of you. Watch the hand that's behind you. You screaming fire, but nobody comes to your rescue. You scream help, and nobody comes to your rescue. You scream fire and everybody turns around. So you start fucking shit up. People gonna start noticing and whatnot. Well, what they fucking shit up for? Now you understand the reason. But then the other thing behind that, you have people that are riding the coattails that mess up the message or mess up. You know what I mean? So
Louisville knew. They prepared. They prepared the city. They put up barricades. They brought out police and all this stuff in preparation for what they knew was absolute bullshit. Now that's the part. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the part that's terrible. That's the part that's so upsetting. And even the like heavy-handed way that every city dealt with even peaceful protests is horrible. People injured, killed. Like, all this stuff is happening today. It's wild. So anybody out there trying to just get a message out, I got money on your Cash App for the bail fund. And that's how I support.
No more jail for me,
I
baby.
make it rain in the bail fund for y'all if y'all out here.
No more jail for me. I think I would be out there I'll be out there acting a fool. I already know myself. Let me stay right in this house.
Honey.
Now, I was going to say, Nicole, you have a joke. You speak about how you are triracial. So there is a way that you could get away with a lot of stuff. Do you ever take advantage of that situation, or do you not? Because looking at you, you don't know.
No, I don't take advantage of looking white or passing for white or people want to give it. I even stopped mentioning that because I don't want to offend Black people either. You know what I mean? Oh, she could pass for white. I don't play the white card or the white side. No disrespect to them, but I'm really black. Mama black. I just came out clear. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing else to say. Like,
you just came out clear.
Yep, I just came out clear. I'm a whole black.
Child.
So, ladies, how do we value ourselves? And when I say that in darn near every way. I say that emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually, because I feel as though the way in which we think is the way in which we carry ourselves. So if we were to be basic to say how we will allow friends to walk over us or a man to walk over us and not valuing ourselves, when we're placed in other situations, we have that same kind of mentality. So how do we value ourselves? What do we see ourselves as? Are we those queens? Who are we? Are we those independent women? Who are we? Are we latched women? What are we? Are we dependent women? Do we have to have a man? And if you don't, does that mean that you're angry at him or you don't like him?
That's a good point. I like how you said that.
So what y'all thinking? What's up?
Can y'all still see me? Because my camera seems to be acting up. I just want to make sure.
I see you.
Okay. Because I can't see nobody, but I got on multiple devices. But go ahead. Repose the question, ma'am. I do apologize.
I know she didn't want me to say all that again. Allow me to first say again, thank you to all of our listeners and watchers, whoever's listening on Sadior Radio. Thank you. Also, all our watchers. And also know, ladies, that there's a link on my page that you can send people and share this episode of the Real Shit No Joke so we can share. However, I was asking, how do we value ourselves wholly? Like every part of us, mental, spiritual, sexual. How do we as women, how do we value ourselves? Independently and then together. How do you see you? How do you want the world to see you? Boy, I ask the questions that get them quiet. Y'all know we on the radio. We can't have no dead air.
Start.
I know
Right.
it.
Well, that was,
I know. It makes you think. Because that's what we got to do.
It does make you think. It does make you think. And I mean, I want the world to, and I stutter when I say it because that's a deep question that you ask. It's not just a one layer question. That's why we all sat and thought, because it's multi-layer. How do you want the world to see you, and how man, at this point, I want the world to see me as a strong, stable, committed, talented Black woman. I don't want to say Black woman, but at this point, we have
put that
to.
adjective
It's like
in front of it.
you have to. I almost feel like it's like a reprieve of the late 80s, mid 80s, early 90s, when it was just really having to understand what you wear, how you wear your hair. I know they just passed the Hair Act,
the Crown Bill,
rather.
The Crown.
Yes, the Crown Bill. So, yes, thank you for correcting me. Yes, the Crown Bill. So, I want them to see me as who I am. I know it takes a lot and it makes no sense. It takes a lot for you to see people of color, but it takes a lot for you to see women. It takes F being people of color. It just takes a lot for you to see us as women, as strong women, as providers. So that's what I want to be seen. That's what I want to put out to the world.
So, Bikini, I ask you this. When you say the word strong, what does that mean? How do we define that word strong? You say you want the world to see you as strong. What does that mean?
Yes. To me, strong doesn't mean loud and boisterous. Doesn't mean get your point across with the knick-knack of the neck. And all of us could do that depending on what day of the month it is. Okay? Because we all got that crack. But ask the question again, because here it comes. Ask it one more time when we get into it. Ready? Ask it again. Ready?
What is your definition of being strong?
Being strong means being adamant in who you are as a person, in your views, in your decisions, not wavering. Being strong means being steadfast in what you say and what you do. You do who you are. You are who you do. Do it all. Be adamant and be honest. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You done went and grabbed the dictionary. You slick ass. That was excellent. You slickness. Then grab the dictionary.
I pulled the dictionary from the women that are on the screen in front of me. That's where I pulled it from. What do you mean?
Come on,
We have
God bless.
exemplary examples of powerful women that are strong on this screen right here. And I don't know if our Facebook friends and our YouTube friends can see, but y'all see all this strength that's on this. We are comedians. We are mothers. We are daughters. We are fighters. We are activists. We are college graduates. We are life graduates and still students at the same time. And still fighting to be heard and see. So I'm quiet.
Nicole Phoenix.
Yes.
Who are you? What's your value?
What's my value? So that's like a really big question, but when I thought about it, I thought about like being able to ask for what you want and what you need is a really big thing, right? So because you made it such an expansive, you said a man and this and that, right? So, but in every instance, there's this thing where you can just, and nobody says that they have to give it to you. It's not demanding it, but saying, hey, so you said relationships, you dating somebody, and if you really want to be with that person or you want to take it to the next level, just valuing yourself enough to say, this is what I want. And, you know, and if they say, I'm not doing that, to be like, okay, cool. And I'm not going to settle and I'm a dip, right? To want to be on a particular show, right? And say, I want to be on this show and ask and like value yourself enough to be like, well, I'm going to just wait until he hit me up. I'm seeing, you know, and all that stuff. Like, no, you're good enough. Ask for what you want. Ask for the gig. Ask for what it is you want in all these different situations at the job. This is what I need, okay? Like, this is what I need to be successful. Please, can you help me? Like, being vulnerable and valuing yourself enough to get the help you need, like, is dope.
Yeah.
What has you to get to that point that you feel comfortable to be able to ask? What inside you make you able to ask someone?
I'm not always comfortable, but I just have to push myself to do it, right? Sometimes you just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I have a vision, right? You know what I mean? Like, 'cause that's
yes,
me. That's my brain. But I did the work. I did the work in figuring out what I need. I need this amount of money. I need this equipment. I need, you know, when you figure that part out for people, they be like, okay, boom, I got you. Or I can help you and you can move on. And it's cool.
Exactly.
However, what you just said, though, you did the work. So you invested
You still
some
do
time.
work.
No, what I'm saying is you were able to bring them something. So all of that helps to build up a value.
Yeah.
That's what helps. You had something to offer and you was able to show it. That people can say, okay, yeah, I see the value in that. So that was the point I wanted to bring out in what you were saying.
Oh, yeah,
you were able
specific. Yeah, for sure. It's not like I need help. And then just put your hands up. It's like, no. So I figured some stuff out. I've done the work. I figured out in this relationship that this is what I need. And even being able to, because I asked my partner, I was like, so have you ever received like negative feedback or gotten like lashback from somebody just from asking like from what you need and what you want? And he was like, yeah. Like, especially in a romantic situation, be like, I need you to show up for me. And then they hit you back with, well, I got to do this, and this. Like, okay, that's not okay. This is what I asked for. You know, this is what I need. And it's not a back on you. Well, he treats me bad. That means I don't have a, you know, I'm not valued. It means no, they're not meeting my standards. They're not seeing me as valued. So they haven't given me what I need or what I want. So it's time to go. You don't take it personally and think it's something about you that the person can't be who you want them to be or all that shit.
Right.
All that good shit. So I think that's where the value really comes in, is knowing what you're worth in different situations. Because people, you can't control what people think about you.
That's
and what they're going to say and how you come off. You can just try to be yourself and authentic and ask for what you want.
Right.
I like this. I'm getting filled up. I hope y'all sixes is moving up because I'm feeling good over here. Erin, what is your value? How do you see it? What do you want?
What do I want? I mean,
what do you want? How do you want people to see you and view you?
However they do. I don't know. I guess I kind of more care about how I see me than what other people think. You know, I just feel like I'm at the point where I am who I am and like you're gonna like me or not. And you know, I'm happy at where I am in life. And, you know, of course I'd love to try do other things, but I feel like there's value in just like knowing who you are.
Yes.
Standing
That's my Libra friend, right? Aaron, you a Libra? That's why we don't care. We like.
I just need to be balanced. I need, you know,
right.
I don't do well with like drama and conflict. I mean, I can watch it with no problem, but like I don't. I don't know.
We all.
but I mean, but when it comes to value and how I want to be viewed, like I just want people to view me how I am, and hopefully, you know, like we're on the same wave, and you get, you know, my jokes, and sometimes you'll call me a piece of shit. So what you can do.
if it's brought to your attention that someone misinterpreted or don't understand you, would you take the time to explain it, or do you just continue to go and they'll just figure it out, or they won't? Or do you take the time to let them know what the situation is about you?
It depends on my mood, honestly.
Okay.
If you catch me in a good mood, I might be like, look, like this is what I really meant. If you catch me in a bad mood, I might be like, go fuck yourself. This is comedy. Like, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people have lost that. And I have no ill will to anybody. I have no bad feelings about anybody. Sometimes I think, you know, dramas just, you know, gets people recognized.
It does.
And a lot of times, unfortunately, women tend to attack each other, which I think is a shame, because I don't, this isn't gonna sound stereotypical, but it should be a good stereotype. But like, I feel like my like women of color friends are 100% more supportive and less bitchy than like, you know, white women.
Because we are.
No, like, maybe that's me. Like I've spent my entire like working career and life, you know, basically since I was like 19, you know, working with a majority of like a, you know, people of color population from all over the place. Like I was the minority. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I have a weird, but then before that, I spent my whole life in a suburban community where there was like 4 Black people. So it was like, it's a weird juxtaposition. But I feel like I got off topic.
You're good. You're good. Because you brought up some good points. Nicole, what you thinking? I see you down here. What you thinking? What you thinking, beautiful?
Well, one of the questions you say, what do I want? I want peace, self-peace, and I want unlimited shrimps.
And shrimps.
Is that coconut shrimp? Is that fried shrimp? What kind of shrimp is that? Bubble shrimp? Bubble shrimp.
I mean,
coconut fried, sauteed.
Nicole, every week
unlimited shrimp.
Yes.
I want unlimited peace, unlimited self-peace. That's where I'm at, self-peace.
Yes.
Like, I don't like watching drama. I don't like you ain't gonna never hear too much a part of it. But it's more about a woman. I think for me is self-worth and having fun with your life and with yourself, and at the same time building standards without having bitterness.
Nice.
I like that.
I think, you know how like they say, you know how grandma say you a lie, you a steal, you a cheat. They come in all three. Well, bitterness comes with numb and petty, and I don't want to be none of the 3 bitches: petty, numb, and bitter. Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's one of the stereotypes that women, you know, can get into those categories or those boxes, you know, after life experiences and mistakes and, you know, everything that's going on in the politics and the world. That this shit right here that's going on, it'll liable to make you bitter. Like, fuck the world, fuck people, fuck men, fuck white people, fuck Black people, whatever you want to put after the fuck. And it's important to kind of like stay centered, you know, with that peace. peace, and just whoever your circle of friends are, you know, have an open dialogue and support each other and checking each other when you need to as well. Because checking is good when it's in a safe space.
Yes.
So that's why I think one meaning of being a woman is, you know, you got life experience, you know, and in that journey, you're looking for the ultimate peace. It don't matter how many microphones you got, how many, you know, shows you want here, how much your credit score is. At the end of the day, are you at self-peace as a woman and what your circle looks like, you know, and how you really feel inside that exudes outside, you know. Are you better or are you bitter?
I like that.
That's what
I like that.
So,
I
Nick,
like that.
how do you maintain that peace? How do you not lose that peace with everything going on you mentioned?
Man, I don't know if everybody in this circle, you had them days where you feel like you like have a big ass headache and you know you ain't eat no pork. Like, why is my blood pressure feeling like, you know, 200?
Yes.
Some of the regular stuff is take your ass to sleep and get a fucking nap. Go for a walk. I go on daily walks every day. If you need to meditate, take your ass out and sit in some grass and woosah.
And take a couple of breaths.
Yep. Get your ass assigned to some counseling, some therapy. Because that's like the shitted on career. That's the shitted the professional that's the most shitted on in this world, in this country, is counselors and therapists. So if you feel like all this shit is going on, see, we got this global, this national stuff going on, but we also have personal stuff going on that was before COVID. And now we got COVID going on, Black Lives Matter. We got the elections. We got the seasons changing. We got Aaron busting open that sage. You know, burn that fucking sage.
Go ahead, Aaron.
If you going through some shit, burn that fucking sage.
There. Let me go get mine real quick. Hold on.
And you know what else you got to do? At that Palo Santo. Once you do the stage, you got like that Palo. Yeah.
All right, so allow me to put a pin in this for just one moment, because I know our sister Nicole Phoenix gotta go. She has another show. Why? Because she make it happen. She make it happen. So I'm gonna let her just speak for a moment so she can get the information about her show, all of her tag information, and she can prepare. So Nicole.
She going.
So she did go?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
All right. Well, for everyone that was listening, if y'all want to check her out, that is Nicole Phoenix. She is so extra on Instagram. So I thank you for being here, and we're going to just continue. Ladies, we probably got about another 5 minutes in this mental health chat. So I want Bikini to finish off with the Chris Rock, and then we're going to fade on into adult talk, because honestly a lot of what we're speaking about is still going to kind of come back around, because as Bikini said, it's layers. A lot of ways that we think we deal with these relationships, and some things that we're dealing with these relationships, we're dealing with that at the jobs and with the workers and all that. So it's all still tying in together. But Bikini, talk to us about that article you have.
So Chris Rock recently came out. We all know our comedian friend Chris Rock. As of maybe since September 21st, on Monday the 21st, he came out and he let it be known that he has been diagnosed with a learning disorder. He has non-learning verbal disorder. So non-verbal learning disorder, he revealed in the personality piece by Hollywood Reporter. He said those with NLVD typically have trouble interpreting non-verbal cues such as facial expressions and body languages. He said, all I understand are the words. He's 55 years old now. The results that he got were taken too literally. So he went and had a 12-hour evaluation. He now attends to 7 hours of therapy a week. He said the diagnosis came about when a friend suggested that he may have Asperger's, which then prompted a 9-hour cognitive test by his doctor. He's been growing up years with it critically, but never realized that that's what he had. So when he had his show, Everybody Hates Chris, he thought that that would be his own therapy to help him with the trials and the tribulations of his childhood. Not knowing that as a comedian, when people would come up to him and think, okay, he said, you know, I would be kind of put off a little bit when people would come up to me and just be like, you know, I didn't like the way that you were kind of like your mannerisms of doing or saying something. He's like, I just attributed that to me being a comedian. Like, you probably didn't understand what I was saying as a comedian anyway, so you just misread my body language. But not knowing all these years that he's had a nonverbal learning disability. So it's also been masked as ADHD, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is something that affects children when it comes to the brain synapses and the neurotransmitters in their brain and the misfires and all of that. My son has it, as you can tell, I have it too. But then I looked at it like, well, when he was young, right? So then, Aaron, you can speak to it. So when you were younger, did you also have an issue with your words not mixing with your body language? Like, people, like I say to my son, "What? Stop smiling all the time. It's nothing funny about what I'm saying." And they just like I don't know, my body is not matching what you're saying or how I'm feeling. Did you also experience that?
That sometimes my body will be moving in a different way than my brain is, and like, so it makes me clumsy. There's a lot of stuff like that, but there's definitely, in fact, I've been reading a lot recently about like different types of neurodiversity, because I figured out that I think I have executive function disorder along with and you know, I'm still working, but
right. I like self-diagnosing. Hello.
This damn internet, I swear to goodness, this internet, I swear to goodness.
Right?
No, but I've taken the online test and like brought them to my doctor and been like, look, and he was like, yeah, definitely, like you definitely have it. But I got through high school. I got through school okay because I was smart enough that I like didn't really, and not just like, I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I was smart enough that I didn't really have to try that hard. So it didn't affect me until I got to college when I hit a really hard class and I couldn't pay attention.
Okay,
I was
got it.
Wrong with me because I literally am like staring at the wall. So yeah, so I think that's when I was like 24.
Oh,
all right. So your body is kind of doing one thing, and your words, your actions are different.
And my mind, so it's like 3 different things happening at once.
So if that means you're not taking the personal cues, you know how some people are like extremely sarcastic. We like, you just insensitive. So does that help a person to be sarcastic and sensitive? And is that something that's like mental, or can therapy kind of help to retrain that and you don't have to be that way? That's a question I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Definitely therapy helps, because my son went through, and I went through it with him. He's 23 now. So he went through 18 years of therapy, about 16 to 18 years of therapy. And since he was 5, 6 years old. So it's been definitely a help when it came to like the teacher not understanding why is this kid like spazzing out or not understanding his emotions. He couldn't verbalize. Because well, tell me why you did that. I don't know. That's another sign too. He didn't understand how to verbalize. Not just that he didn't have it, his grammar wasn't there, vocabulary rather, but he didn't understand how to express it because he didn't understand his feelings versus why y'all keep saying that I'm acting this way, but I'm actually feeling this way. I'm doing this on the inside, but on the outside, my body's like, it's doing all kinds of crazy stuff that you don't even, it's autonomous. It's just like when you make coffee every day and then you don't realize, oh, I went to go make coffee, but I knew I was out. I needed to go to the market and I still autonomously went and got that coffee. It's the same thing. Your body is like doing things that you didn't want it to do. And then being a comedian, I'm just thinking about it like, wow, that a lot of us may have that same thing, because a lot of us be saying shit on stage and be like, well, didn't she realize she just said some really off the wall shit and her body language just is not matching it at all? You know what I mean?
Like, that's the funniest. Like, I honestly don't think that ADHD is necessarily a disability. Like, I feel like I kind of have a up sometimes. Like, I feel like I can move at a faster pace. Other times I can't get a load of laundry done for 2 weeks. But like for things, like I can at a faster pace. So it's weird.
So with Chris Watt, you mentioned something about Asperger's. He had a diagnosis of adult Asperger's?
No, his friend had thought that he had Asperger's and saw the symptoms of it and told him, listen, I think that you have symptoms because Asperger's syndrome, he was saying that the symptoms that he had were so does your child find social, what is it? Does your child find social situations confusing? Do you find it hard to start or have small talk? Is it difficult to make an imaginative story at school? Is it hard for you to understand thoughts and feelings of other people? Are you good at picking up details and facts? So these different things his friends saw like over the years, like, man, yeah, so I need to ask you these questions. Maybe you should go and get checked. And from that, then he got the testing done. And after the 9-hour cognitive test, they said, no, actually you have NLVD.
NLED?
NLVD, non-verbal learning disorder, NVLD, excuse me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is that something, a fairly new diagnosis, or I never really, that's interesting. Never really
Not
heard
that I
of it.
can see, because it basically came around the same time as autism. They started to look at different things because the brain, I learned with Marquise, the brain
Autism is
works
still
with
fairly
so many, right. And so when Marquise, they thought he had ODD at first, oppositional defiance
They
disorder.
gave every little black boy ODD at first. ODD,
Yeah.
and what's the oppositional and
Defiance
cognitive disorder.
and cognitive, yes.
Yeah, it's like those are jail disorders you giving a little black boy elementary school. So
Yeah.
that amazes me. He probably had ADHD like the rest of us.
Right, and that's what I said. My son has ADHD.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I'm just looking at it as an adult when we talk about these different things in a mental health check-in, when you're trying to function as an adult, not just in a romantic relationship, platonic relationships, work relationships, familial relationships. It's hard. You don't realize how this stuff still plays a part in that. And if you don't, like Aaron did, you don't do research to see, well, why am I quirking this way? Well, is anybody else like this, or is it just me?
If you 40 and up, your mom was in denial. All our moms was in denial to get us, evaluate. Now the new moms is evaluating the kids' toe. Okay, they openly evaluating the kids. But our age group, I want to say 40 and up, maybe 35 and up. If you born in the early 80s and the late 70s, it's a wrap. Your mama was not getting you diagnosed. Back in the day, they was not trying to get an SSI check. They we were actually ashamed of it, and looking at it's like a mental health, it's like mental health diagnosis versus a learning diagnosis. So that's why we think we got shit and we self-diagnosing ourselves, and we're mostly not far off. We think we joking, and we are, but I'm wondering, some of us are not officially diagnosed, and we've been getting along with life this far. You know what I mean? So then when we get that diagnosis, does that further enable us? Does it further educate us? Because it gets very blear. It could get a blear line. You know what I'm saying? Educate us once we get a diagnosis. Because let me tell you, if you got adult ADHD, that shit is so fucking hard. Hard. Yes. Because this resources is one-on-one stuff for kids. When it comes to an adult, ain't nobody gonna sit down and work with your hyperactive grown adult ass.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. They're just gonna bring the box down the aisle to your cubicle, like, so
you're fired.
Looks like
you're canceled.
Right.
My position,
these whole ass jobs canceling people. Fuck out of here. So yeah, you either fire or you find yourself in somebody's jail cell.
So true.
You find yourself going upside somebody's head. ADHD. Let me tell you, I wonder if I have ADHD because I literally have to write little lists around the house if I got things to do within the next 30 minutes. Because I'll veer off. That's OCD?
OCD.
ADHD, damn, I got all the alphabet. I got all
OCD, boo. You on the other side of the spectrum.
I got ADD, ODD, OCD,
AT&T, ETC, etc.
I ain't got no EBT though. That's the one I wish I had. Okay.
Can I get that one?
I love it.
Yo, but it's the truth. It's definitely because I was thinking about it the other day. My son is having issues with his little, thinking about being away, or rather him being away and thinking about the girlfriend that he left behind, or lack thereof, the friend that he left behind. And then me thinking like, maybe you are definitely super focused on this girl a little too much. Now your emotions is a little too much. Then he's like, I'm good. I'm over it. She can kick rocks. I'm done. For the next day. So I wrote this text. And so I want you to read it and let me know if I should send it. I'm like, didn't we just go through this yesterday? Like, we went through the whole steps. Like, it's hard in relationships to have, but don't everybody got mental disorders though? Don't everybody got a piece of chip missing somewhere? Jay, don't look like that. You done messed with some sweet
and that's I'm saying definitely, yeah. My mom's been gone for 5 years. Probably about, and didn't know she was gonna pass. So probably about 3 months prior to her passing, I just was getting emotional about like just everything. Like the wind blew, I cried. Somebody like whatever could be, tears was dropping. And I could not understand why. When I would question myself and I say, why are you crying? And I'd be like, well, talking to myself, well, because my brother's dead and I don't got nobody to talk to, and these men crazy and I need somebody. And it was like, well, bitch, your brother's been dead for 12 years, so that ain't the reason. All right, good point. Well, my parents gone. And it was like, no, nigga, you done went through those feelings. So I decided, because I had insurance, I was gonna go to therapy and see what was going on. So I go in therapy, and within like the first 3 minutes, I'm crying. Like I'm crying coming through the door. Like she already handed me tissue. And as we begin to speak, she's like, you are so insightful, because I'm explaining, as anyone that knows me know I do, I'm explaining the situation and then explaining the resolution to the situation. And she's like, you're so insightful. And I said, that's the fucking problem. I said, all my life, I've been able to fix whatever the issue was, no matter how bad it was, house burning down, physical, mental abuse, whatever it was. I've always been able to bounce back with no problem. Now, as I began to talk to her, I recognized I was just bouncing back. I wasn't really going through the issues. I was just kind of getting over the issues. However, at some point in my life, apparently, I made it all right. She thought it was her job to go dig up all this shit that apparently I forgot about, that she wanted me to go back through. And I said, I'll be damned if I'm gonna sit here for 1 hour with you and then cry for 167 hours for the rest of the week messing with your ass.
All right now.
And the crazy thing was, she put me on some medicine, and I think I took this medicine for like 4 days. And I called my children every hour on the hour to let them know how sorry I was and how much I had messed up my life. And I pray to God that I ain't gonna mess up their life. And to please forgive me. And my daughter said, Mom, please stop taking this medicine. I don't know what the hell is going on. This shit is definitely not making you better. You are definitely getting worse. Like, what the fuck what is going on with you? Because I've always presented that image of whatever strength was. Initially going to church, taking care of home, taking care of community when I could, like whatever could be done, I did. Paying tithes, like doing all the stuff, being in church 5 days a week, like doing all the stuff. And then just different stuff kept happening, and I could not understand why it was happening. Yet I was not only able to pull myself through it, praise God, but I was able to stand. So I never really took time to try to analyze nothing, because it was just done and it was what it was. And in the famous words of my mother, when I asked her to explain to me my life and why she wasn't there, her words was, the past is the past. Now that's the past. That's the best explanation, I promise you, with all sincerity, real shit, no joke, I can give you, because that's the words that my mother gave me. So I can't give nobody else nothing else. So when it came to my life, I had to understand the past is the past. Now that's the past. And either it's something that I want to do something different about in my future. Or I want to be at peace with it because it's in the past and I can't do a damn thing about it. So after about 3 months of seeing a psychiatrist once a week, I got a phone call about 10 o'clock in the morning telling me that my mother had died. Very unexpectedly. I had just seen her Friday. I got the hug. If I would have known, I would have got a tighter hug. I wouldn't have let the woman go. But came Monday, my mother had passed. And from that day to this, I've never taken another medicine. I've never gone to another psychiatrist. I've never gone to another doctor. It was just something within me that came back alive. It woken back up. Like, you got to get this shit together. You ain't got time for shit to fall apart.
Right.
You know, and that's the biggest part of my whole reason for being out here. You know, I'm under that title of comedian, but I will constantly say that I'm just out here with a message. I didn't come out here because I wanted to make people laugh. I wanted to come out here because I was tired of freaking crying. And I didn't want people to continue to cry. That is my fucking message. So I'm not ha funny, because shit ain't funny to me. It's the ironies of life that I'm trying to understand, and I kill everything moving, including the wind. So I figure if y'all can laugh with me on some of this shit, we can all get through it a little bit better. Versus ready to kill everything. So, you know, this whole mental check-in is real to me. You know, being out here and trying to share yourself, because the vulnerability that you share with others, it really does open up so much to them. So many things that they're in denial about, so many things that they are ashamed about. When you step into that light and you show that it's all right and you can live through it, you may open one other person's eyes. And that may be all that's necessary, because that one person that you may open their eyes to, they may open up 1,000,000. So don't worry about everything. Like, I don't worry about the likes, and that's real shit. And actually, all y'all that's on here really kind of know me. I don't check that stuff, and I really don't. I purposely don't, because I don't want to be consumed in it. What I know is I'm putting a message out there. So Philly events, I do that because I want to share. That's it. I want to share stuff. I don't care if you like it or not. I feel good about it. That's understanding my value. And I understand it's something to say, and I want to share it with everyone else. You know, so yeah, this mental thing, it is real. This trying to understand it. And now I am there, and I understand what you said, Aaron. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm kind of ahead of the game, but damn, I got to say, slow down, go fast. Because I got so many damn things that my hands is on. Sometimes I'm not completing something over here because I'm trying to work on something over here, which is cool, but everything is in order. There's a process. And when you learn to just breathe, you can understand the process and begin to go through it. You know what I mean? So I thank y'all for giving me all that time to share, because it felt really, really good.
Sometimes you need to, honey. Sometimes you need to.
And I met the first night that we went to an open mic. I don't know if you guys know this, but our very first night of comedy, I met Jay Monet in the Raven Lounge in the audience. She was like an angel sitting there with a blunt in her purse.
You said I'm about to light this up. I was trying to be good.
Light it up.
I didn't mention I do that.
Naughty.
But now, I feel like you were like, just like the universe brought you into my life. I don't know. I feel like where I am right now is like a good spot.
Definitely.
Yes. It's a wonderful thing to be in a good spot. And we're about to go to the next spot. We're about to go into adult hour. But before we do that, because we're about to get sexy. I know we're about to get sexy. We're going to talk about loneliness, what we do, how we take care of ourselves during this time. However, before we leave this, I guess, more, I don't know what to call it, talk. I figured you want to just drop your legacy, like what you want to leave on this world. How do you want the world to, you know, remember you as? In 2-3 words, we ain't got to make it long, but how you want the world to remember you as when this thing is said and done. Y'all gonna stop getting silent every time I ask a question.
Only pain I like is champagne. Okay. Remember me with those words. Okay. Only
so we gonna pop some bottles
like
and pour the champagne. Pop the bottles and pour the champagne.
Well, I mean, we'll have to refill for a dark hour, but yes.
All right. I'm gonna just say I would like my legacy to be part of people sharing their smile and their happiness and joy with others, to be able to help other people to see the goodness in them. That's what I would like.
Oh, okay. We're gonna go deep with it. Oh, make me feel a little like I done did too much.
No, I like the champagne. We're gonna pour the champagne too, and then we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Aaron, what's your legacy, baby?
My legacy hopefully is just like I was funny and cool and like, oh yeah, she was right about pretty much everything. Everybody
just pretty much right about everything.
Yeah, just
Lord. The truth, though, right? What about you, Miss Nicole Spain? What's your legacy?
My legacy is multi-purpose. I want to be that successful, surprising story as a comedian, telling my life story. I want to have financial. I hate to say the typical stuff, but I want to have financial freedom so I can travel across this whole planet. Fuck it, if you let me go to another galaxy, I'm going. You know what I mean? I don't want much limitations. And the legacy in the conclusion is I'm going to be unlimited with myself because I've limited myself like the first 30 years of my life, 35.
Come on, baby.
Yes.
All right, so with that said, we're going to take a break for the calls, and come on back with Adult Hour.
Wait, am I saying?
Yes, you are, Miss Ma'am.
Okay, so we just are not live right now?
We're going to go off live for a moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Let everybody regroup and get something to drink. I know our mouths be